It was just such a rush and we were running about trying to get it all up in the website, and by the time I got home my heart was going and I was just like, I just want to do this forever. My name is Katy Scott. I studied physics and then English literature at the University of Glasgow, and I'm now a journalist at BBC Scotland. So I work for the online team at BBC Scotland, so I write news for the website. I do breaking news, I do features, obviously we cover all the regions in Scotland. We do quite serious political stuff, national stuff, but also some quite interesting, quirky local stories, so every day's different, it's a huge mix. I've always had an interest in workers' rights, and I've covered a lot of union disputes when I was at the Courier and when I was at the Glasgow Guardian as well, and the BBC. It's just something I always find really interesting and kind of dynamics of how that works. But weirdly, I think one of my most read stories was about a swarm of bees harassing a pub in Glasgow. I don't know why that did so well. Journalism's always been a passion of mine. I used to always love writing when I was younger. My dad would always bring home notebooks for me and I would just fill them with loads of stories. And then as I went to university, that kind of progressed into joining the University of Glasgow student newspaper, the Glasgow Guardian, and I started there as a writer and then progressed to news editor and editor-in-chief. The part that I really liked was the fact that it was a lot of trial and error. You could try things out and see how you fancied it. Like, I wrote for all the sections when I was there. I did culture, I did sport, well I did one sport but it wasn't for me. I did opinion pieces, but when I did news I knew that was the one that I really liked, and I spent all of my time doing it. And the people I met there were just so my kind of people. We all really got on and had the same sense of humour, and we were all really enthusiastic about what we were doing. I think especially when you're at university and you don't know what you want to do, it can be quite easy to doubt yourself and think that you're not going to end up doing what you want to do because you're so concerned about just getting a job. But knowing that I had so much support from people and they were so keen for me to do well, and it was definitely the best part of university. My advice for any students or graduates who want to be a journalist would just be, it's quite obvious, but write loads, write for all the student publications, try and get work experience, reach out to editors, harass people, like be annoying. Because if you're annoying, they'll know that that's how you'll go after a story. They put yourself forward for awards as well, student journalism awards, like there's so many of them and they look good if you're being recognised in that way. And just don't be put off if you don't get the exact thing you're going for. I would also say, just even reflecting on my own experience, I was definitely going for loads and loads of jobs, and then some would come back and they're not really the job that you want to do. So I think be picky. If there's something you know you want to enjoy, don't bother going for it because there's no point. I would say to believe in your abilities a bit more. I think it can be quite easy to doubt yourself when you're not really 100% sure what you want to do. It sounds really stupid, but I think that's kind of why I decided to do physics, was because I thought, you know, if you do an arts degree, you're not going to get a job. So I went and did physics and did not enjoy a second of it. And then I think what you're going to do, you end up doing it anyway. Like, I was always going to end up being a journalist because that's what I like doing. I liked writing. But I just never thought it was realistic to actually get paid to write. But you can get paid to write, so don't make it difficult. My favourite memories of studying in Glasgow are definitely from working on the Glasgow Guardian. I remember my first story I did there was with the news editor at the time and the editor-in-chief, and I was just like a writer. I think it was the first or second time I met them, and we were reporting on the fact that Glasgow Uni had helped in the detection of gravitational waves, and there was a conference call in with the scientists in America, I think, but there was like a big conference at Glasgow Uni with all, you know, real journalists and real photographers, and we were a part of it because we were the student newspaper. And then we watched the announcement that they discovered these waves, and it was just ecstatic. The environment was amazing, and we were brought into a press room and we got to ask questions alongside, you know, real journalists, and it was just an amazing experience to kind of be on par with other journalists. And we went back to the office and we just wrote it all down, and it was just such a rush and we were running about trying to get it all up in the website, and by the time I got home my heart was going and I was just like, I just want to do this forever. It was so much fun, and it was really that sort of energy and excitement. It was just so addictive, and that's kind of the start of me wanting to really be a journalist.